You're watching Newswatch on WOAY.
The snow is nearly guaranteed here in southern West Virginia each winter, with piles of it still lingering on the streets. However, the snow has taken a trip down south, dropping record snowfall amounts across the Gulf Coast over the last couple of days. Meteorologist Christian Boedler has details on this historic event.
Howdy, y'all. Let's dive right on into the record-breaking Gulf Coast storm that has swept through the area at the beginning of this week. Here is some satellite imagery of the snow melting away over the last day or so. You'll see it especially in Alabama and Georgia and some of the Carolinas, but a lot of it is sticking around, especially at the Gulf Coast. Places like New Orleans, Pensacola, and even the Outer Banks have been affected with this record-breaking snow. The snowfall this week has been heavy, especially across parts of western Louisiana and eastern Texas. 6+ inches in this purple here. New Orleans, Mississippi, and parts of Texas also had 4 to 6 inches, with more locally. New Orleans had officially 8 inches of snow as of now. The white is a coating to 2 inches, so a good part of Texas got that, and then Houston and some parts of Louisiana got 2 to 4 in the light blue. We move on to Mobile and the Florida Panhandle, where they got 6+ inches of snow, along with some parts of Georgia getting affected. Lots of 4 to 6 in the darker blue. The light blue is 2 to 4, and then that coating reached even Atlanta. This storm has spanned a lot of the Gulf Coast, including the Outer Banks. They got 6+ inches of snow. Some totals eclipsed 8 inches in the Outer Banks, which is just incredible to see. 4 to 6 in a lot of eastern North Carolina, 2 to 4 in Raleigh, and a coating even made its way up to the Delmarva Peninsula. This storm has spanned a long range in just a couple of days, dropping a lot of snow in the area. And on Bourbon Street, it was snowy as well. There's been footage going around about people having snowball fights, making snowmen, all sorts of things on Bourbon Street. This is what it looked like at the peak of its accumulation. Just incredible what the streets look like when they have snow. You don't see that every day. And this storm was record-breaking. A few places broke snowfall records. Mobile, 7.5 inches. Pensacola, 7.5 inches. New Orleans had 8 inches of snow. That's a record as well. Lots of good snowfall totals across the area on the Gulf Coast. But when will it all melt? Well, it's going to start to leave during the weekend after this Arctic outbreak we've been seeing ends in the United States, and it has dipped down all the way to the Gulf Coast, which is why they've seen so much snow rather than the usual rain they would see at this time of year. And there was the first blizzard warning issued by Lake Charles National Weather Service local forecasting office ever in their office history, which is crazy because Lake Charles is in eastern Louisiana and it is like right by the coast. It's very, very unusual to see snow, let alone a blizzard in that area. But that isn't the only thing you'd have to worry about in a snowstorm like this. There are frost quakes that are a concern in the area. As the snow falls, it covers the area, and the temperature is lower, meaning that underground water would freeze, which then would cause these cracks to go into the soil and even bedrock as the ice expands, increasing the pressure in the ground both directions, building these cracks, like I said before, both in the soil and the bedrock. And once they get big enough, they will start to crack and quake, having a shaking and a loud booming sound along with them, which is just incredible for the snow that has come down, and especially in a place that doesn't take snow that well due to how often they don't see it. It is definitely a concern for the Gulf Coast. But with that, this is meteorologist Christian Boedler for Newswatch.